Project Planning Processes Part 2. Documents and software tools in project planning.
To plan a project, the following documents are required: scope definition, creation of the work breakdown structure, responsibility matrix, and chronogram of activities. These documents allow us to reflect upon the size of the project. By size of the project, we refer to the work necessary to carry the project forward and obtain the previously established products. Therefore, this phase of planning is mainly about the way in which the project will be done, and the definition of the methodological strategy, and its objective is to offer the best chances of success for the project.
Definition of project scope.
According to Rivera, 2015, to define a project's methodology, it is necessary to, firstly, be sure about the method to be used, either in consultancy, process improvement, software development, product development, or others. Then, you need to know which is the most appropriate life cycle according to the circumstances in which the project arose, i.e., waterfall, increasing, evolutionary, or spiral. The steps to define the scope are the following. 1. Determining the work method to apply. 2. Determining the project's life cycle. 3. Specifying the project's methodology. 4. List the project's deliverables.
Creation of the work breakdown structure, WBS.
The WBS, or work breakdown structure, is a hierarchical graph which shows the stages of the methodology to follow in the project, with a breakdown of its activities up to a suitable level. It is constructed from the deliverables and the methodology detailed in the scope statement, and the activities to be done are broken down in simpler tasks. It includes all the work to be done during the execution of the project.
The WBS starts with the project as a final product to deliver. In Step 1, the most important systems/products of the work to be delivered are identified. Then, the subproducts necessary to reach these. The process repeats itself until the detail of the subproducts is so small to be managed and when one person can be in charge of it. This subproduct is subdivided even more into work packages. As the lowest subproduct usually includes several work packages, these are grouped by type. These groups within a subproduct are called cost accounts. They also generate a system for monitoring the progress of the project per task, cost, and responsibility.
The lowest level of the WBS is called the work package. This represents a task of a short duration that has a defined starting point and an ending point, consumes resources and represent costs. Each work package is a control point. According to Larson and Gray, 2011, each package in the WBS defines the work, what? 1. Identifies the time to complete a work package, how long? 2. Identifies the budget based on phases to complete a work package, cost. 3. Identifies resources that are required to complete a work package, how much? 4. Identifies the person in charge of the work unit, who? 5. Identifies the monitoring points to measure progress, how well?
The responsibility matrix.
What is the relationship between the responsibility matrix and the WBS? The responsibility matrix will be used to define who will be the person in charge of carrying out work elements in the work division structure. It highlights who is in charge of each element and shows the role that every person has as support for the project in general. The project scope document defined what should be done regarding the work statement and deliverables. The work division structure established how the work will be done to produce the project's deliverables. What is the responsibility matrix? Also known as the lineal responsibilities diagram, it summarizes the tasks to be performed and who are in charge of what in a project. In this matrix, the letter R is used to identify the member responsible for the coordination of efforts of the other team members would have been assigned to a certain task. It also ensures that the task is finished. The letter A is used to indicate who are part of the 5-element team, which will support and help the person in charge.
Network diagram.
A network diagram defines the sequence in which activities will be performed. It is a tool that allows to arrange specific activities in the proper order and establish their dependency relations, JIDO, 2012. How are the WBS and the network diagram related? What is it for? When all the specific activities have been defined for each of the work packages, they must be included in a complete list of activities. The next step is to create a network diagram that shows the proper sequence and define dependency relations that indicate how to perform the activities in order to achieve the work scope and produce all the project's deliverables. Agido, 2012. There are 3 network planning techniques. Program Evaluation and Review Technique, PERT. Critical Path Method, CPM. Precedence Diagram Method, PDM. An activity is an element that requires time, and may nor may not require resources. An activity often consumes times while people wait or work. A route is a sequence of interconnected and dependent activities, while a critical path refers to the routes of greater duration throughout the network. If an activity is delayed in the path, the project is delayed the same amount of time. Steps to make a network diagram. Start with drawing the squares of the activities in their logical sequence and connect them through arrows to indicate the required dependency relations, since the project must be executed from start to finish. To show the dependency relations among the activities, pose the following 3 questions regarding each activity. 1. What activities should be immediately finished before this activity can be started? 2. What activities can be done simultaneously with this activity? 3. What activities cannot be started immediately after this activity has been finished?